Welcome into week 2 of Courtside Chronicles, a weekly show highlighting stories from across the sport of basketball. I'm your host, Caleb Nixon. This week, we highlight one of the best high school sophomores in the country. Coatesville's Colton Hiller is currently ranked number 3 in the 2028 class, already holding offers from Alabama, Indiana, and Louisville. The 6'6", 15-year-old was also part of Team USA's U16 national team, helping them win gold at the 2025 FIBA U16 Men's America Cup.
Well, we welcome in now Colton Hiller, joined by his head coach, John Allen. And Colton, want to start with you. Obviously, still a little young here, a sophomore. You're still learning and growing and developing, but a lot of bright things that we've seen from you thus far. Just talk about a little bit of your background with the game of basketball. How did you get involved at an early age, and how have you continued to love the game here as you've grown in high school?
Yeah, it's been a great journey. I started when I was pretty young. Like I've always had a ball in my hand at a young age. And then I started playing rec, obviously. And then I started playing travel in about fourth grade. I was playing up with my brother because he played basketball with like my local AAU team. We were pretty good. And then my local AAU team coach contacted a pretty good AAU team in Philadelphia called Team Jacko. And I went and played with my own age group. And then ever since then, it's kind of taken off.
John, you've gotten to see, I'm sure, his development for quite a while, and just being in the Coatesville program. What did you see, and I guess what do you first remember about bringing Colton Hiller and seeing Colton Hiller's game, whether that be in elementary or middle school? When did you first, I guess, take notice of this young talent?
Yeah. I used to run the league. So I ran the league that he played, and I remember him being just tall, big, for his age. And his brother. I don't know if his brother was playing at that time, but I just remember him being tall and big at that age, and being able to play with the older kids. And from there, he's grown into a pretty good player.
Yeah. You talk about the growth and the height, and I'm curious, Colton, already at, I think 6'6", if that's still correct, and maybe grown a little bit more since the last height check. But how have you seen that develop? And I guess has height always been a thing for you, or did you have one of those growth spurts where it just happened one summer and you kind of grew 3 or 4 inches?
Yeah, it's I've always been on the taller end. And then in like eighth grade going into ninth, that's when I like kind of shot up like to like where I am now.
In terms of the strength as well, Colton, I mean, you look at your shot, it looks very pure. And especially kids in high school, middle school, strength can be one of the weaknesses in terms of developing and getting into the jump shot efficiently. How do you think that your strength has come into a play to be able to help you, develop that jump shot?
Yeah, I feel like I'm still trying to get stronger a little bit. I'm not there yet, but working out with my dad like at a young age, like around close to the basket, just working on technique. And then obviously if you have good technique, it makes like the far shots easier. That's why I feel like I can shoot from like deeper than most kids my age.
Yeah, absolutely. And in terms of that jump shot too, before I asked John about it, what did you see in your development of that shot? It's a very, again, it may look easy to some people when you're watching somebody shoot a clean jump shot, but in terms of technique and mechanics, it can take a couple of years. It can take a year to develop it and perfect it. What went into that for you? And do you have any coaches that kind of helped you along the lines of perfecting the jump shot?
Yeah, just my dad. Like my dad's been the main one. I've always like worked out with him outside, and then once I got to Coatesville, I was working out at Coatesville's gym. And then yeah, he's always been like stay close to the basket until you get that form to perfection, and then you'll move out deeper and deeper and deeper. And then that's when like my shot started taking off.
Absolutely. And John, from your perspective, what did you see? He talks about working with his dad, but I'm sure you also saw it, whether it be when you were running the organization and coaching that you were involved in, or when you started coaching him in high school. How did you see his jump shot develop throughout his youth and to now?
Yeah, I think he talked about the work that he put in with his dad. I think that's most important. Um, just always having that you can fall back on, right? Whether you're shooting well or you're not shooting well, dad can always give you tips, right? The closest person to you. But I think with us, last year we had really good guards, and he was always a threat. I remember him playing with us, and going into eighth grade, he played with us in some fall stuff, and just being for him, for us, he was always just a threat. 3-point wise, right? And with his shot, and it was evident that he could shoot the ball. I think now his game has expanded into more than just a 3-point shooter, and more of a complete player offensively. So, yeah, we've seen him, we've watched him, we've all watched him grow. As a city, we've watched him grow and develop into what he is, and we'll continue to watch him grow into being better than what he is now.
Most definitely. In terms of your role, John, what do you see? You see a player like this. What do you see as kind of your role when you're trying to guide him and coach him and try and lead him in the right direction? What do you see, I guess, your role here as he continues to grow his game, like you mentioned?
Yeah, I mean, just to keep him humble on the court, but make sure that he's playing the right way, right? It can't just be, we sitting back watching and let him become undisciplined on the court, right? We got to make sure that he's doing the right thing and playing the game the right way. And I think as long as he can follow that guideline, then we get a chance to hone his skills and also just watch him grow as not only as a player but as a person. So I think that's what our role is as coaches: make sure that he's playing the right way and that he's always getting better.
For sure. And Colton, again, sophomore, you've still got a few years left here in high school. What do you see as maybe some of your weaknesses or some of the things that you can still grow upon here as you head into the second half? Well, this is only your second year in high school, but what do you see as some weaknesses or things you can grow upon here in the final 3 years of high school?
Yeah, definitely like my defense, being more aggressive on defense, learn how to move my feet quicker. And then these first 3 games, I've been forcing like face guards and double teams, like box and one. So definitely watching some film, learn how to pass out of that a little better. But yeah, those are the two main things.
Yeah. And then from your perspective, John, I mean, obviously the coach, you see a lot of things that maybe the player can't. What do you think that he can continue to grow upon here? And how are you trying to, I guess tell him about those so he takes it the right way and can comfortably grow in those areas?
You want to know how I tell him? Nah, I'm
Yeah.
joking. No, I think offensively, he hit it on the head, right? Defensively, we all at that age they all have to grow. Um, so he got to learn different techniques, different angles on defense, and just how to compete every defensive play. And then offensively, he's going to see double teams at every level that he goes to. So just when to take shots, when to not take shots, when to become a playmaker, when to get your teammates involved, and recognizing situations rather than just score, being more of a playmaker in every situation.
Yeah. You talk about the double teams, and I'm curious because high school, it might not be as common, or you might not see it as much. So you might not have as much film to watch, Colton, in terms of how to work off a double team or work out of a double team. Is there anybody collegiately or professionally that you've sat down and watched and tried to see how they handle the double team to then apply it to your game?
Yeah. Well, I watch a lot of Luka Doncic
Yeah.
because like he's been always facing double teams. So I like to watch now that I have the ball in my hand a little bit more this year. Watch a little bit of him coming off screens, how he like gets away from the double team, how he passes out of it, and then just watching film on like myself. Like my coaches do a great job getting film out there every game, and then just watching it on myself and see what I can do better to get my teammates more involved.
Yeah. And let me ask you, I mean, it's still early, and again, I'm sure you're getting more double teams as games go on, but what do you think that you've learned already from getting so many double teams about your play, and how do you have to, decipher the defense in that way?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like it's kind of helped our team. Like once I get this down, like how to pass out of it and stuff. Like I think our team's gonna be really good because then it becomes like a 4v5 at that point. So when to make the right passes and when to not.
Yeah. And then same with you, John. I mean, again, it's not very common in high school that you're seeing a guy attract to double teams, and especially for them to learn at a young age how to handle them. How have you seen him work out of those, and how do you try and help him, get out of those and be prepared for those situations when they come?
I think so. A few things in that. The games are the best situation to learn how to do it, right? So as long as teams keep doing it and we keep winning, then we're fine. I mean, at this time, he's averaging 27 points, so he's doing a good job of handling the double teams, and we're 3-0, so we're doing a good job as a team of winning these games. So the more double teams we see, the better it is for us, and that's why we play these games. And then we watch film as much as we can. and then just practicing it, right? We don't hide the obvious that he's a good player and that he's the focal point of our team. So we want to practice being physical with him, and having him see multiple guys running at him, and just teaching him along the way, and understanding that there'll be some mistakes, but accepting those mistakes and kind of just learning from them.
Yeah, you talk about the learning process too. How often are you sending those double teams in practice? Because I mean, it's what you're seeing in games. So are you applying your scout team to also do that?
Well, I'm learning. We had 3 games in 5 days, so I'm learning that we have to do it more in practice. We have to practice it more. Every game is face guard, boxing one. So I'm learning that we have to practice it more and we have to understand it more. And as a team, we have to understand it more. And what we have to do as a team, our other players, whether it's cutting without the ball, him setting the screen or us setting the screen for him, we have to be better with it.
Right. I also want to ask, and you both mentioned a little bit of your family, Colton, and obviously your brother also on the other side of football. He doesn't play basketball still, does he? He
No, he
does?
does. Yeah,
Okay,
he's
I
playing
didn't
this
know.
year. Yeah,
I hadn't checked the roster. I didn't know if he still played with you guys.
yeah, he
But
is.
to have somebody like that, I mean, I think is he a junior or is he a senior this year?
He's a junior, but this will be his last year of high school basketball.
Okay, got it.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, in terms of that, obviously you guys are close in age already, but also two athletes thriving in their own sports, in football, obviously, and you in basketball. Just how special is it to have somebody that close in age, that's a brother, that understands maybe a little bit of what you're going through here at a young age?
Yeah, it's been great. He's been helping me out a lot because he's like experienced he's 2 years older than me, so he's been experiencing like the recruiting stuff like that, all the websites coming at him, how to stay humble. So yeah, he's helped me out a lot throughout the process so far.
Yeah, and what about your family too? I know you talked about your dad being an influential role in basketball as well, but in terms of how he's helped you guys, learn the recruiting stages and kind of navigate this challenging process, what have you seen from your parents as well in terms of helping you navigate this time of your life?
Yeah, they've been great. They're always supportive, always hard on me to like keep getting better. They never, I mean, my dad will never say that I'm good. Like he'll give me like hints that I'm good sometimes, but he'll never give me like the full thing. And then my mom just like does like a lot of for us. She takes me to practice, stuff like that. She used to drive me to Philly every night for practice to play for that good team when I was younger. So yeah, they've been great for me.
Yeah, John, from your perspective too, you got two brothers, maybe 2 years apart, but it sounds like only a grade apart. What's it been like from your perspective to see them on the floor together and working off one another as athletes and as basketball players?
Well, it's always tough around this time because Max is coming off of football. So he really has to get his basketball legs and get back into basketball shape, right? So he's working on that. We're working on that now, but Max definitely brings a sense of humor to the team that I feel like we don't have, and it's important to have as a team, right? It's for him. It's not always super serious, and I want it to be super serious all the time. And sometimes he lets us all know that it's just a game in a way that he reacts to things and he acts with things. But very smart and fast and picking things up. And we're really looking forward to getting him incorporated into our offense and defense and really getting him into basketball shape over the next month and having him be a main part of our team.
Mhm. There's certain types of relationships that I think brothers have and that brothers can bring out in the other. What would you kind of describe about Colton and Max? Are they kind of the headbutt to push each other? Do they have a humorous relationship? What is it that kind of defines that their brotherhood?
I think just from my point of view, just being goofy. I think Max we get Max being goofy a lot in practice and making jokes and making little jokes here and there. So and he definitely, I mean, when Max is around, Colton it seems like he's looser, right? It seems like he's more of his self personality wise. So I just think Max just keeps everybody loose, not just Colton, but he keeps everybody loose. Sometimes it's annoying, but we need it as a team.
Yeah. What would you say about that, Colton, too? I mean, in terms of the humor that he brings to the team, how does that help you and your teammates throughout, what can be a long season?
Yeah, I feel like one of our struggles, like without him, and during the fall and the summer, my coach Tootie would always bring it up. We don't talk to each other like outside of it. We started to a lot more now, and ever since he's got here, it's just been like more jokes, which sometimes is good, sometimes it's not. But he's starting to figure out the right times to do it and the right times not. So it's been good.
Is it any different in the Hiller household, or is he still that same goofy kid?
Uh, I mean, if you it might be it depends on the day. Sometimes he gets a little angry, but yeah, he's usually pretty goofy.
Yeah. That's awesome. Well, I want to ask a little bit about this upcoming season. You mentioned it, John, 3-0 start so far. John, we'll start with you. Just, looking at the roster and the momentum that you guys had from last year, what are some goals and what are you guys trying to, I guess, learn about your team here as you go throughout this season?
Um, everybody's goal is like to win a championship, whatever championship they're in. Everybody's goal, but it's for me, it's always about the process, right? We got to have guys showing up every day, willing to work and putting in championship work. And when you put in championship work, the championships just come. You'll find yourself in those games, and you'll know what to do in those games, how to execute, what level to play at. They'll just come. So my goal is to make sure that we're competing and playing at a championship level every single day. And if we can do that, then we'll be fine. Of course, we want to win every championship. Who doesn't, right? But just being championship level and giving that championship effort every day is what I strive for.
Right. And Colton, I'll ask you the same thing. Looking at the team, what would you say are some of the team goals that you guys are carrying inside the locker room as you go throughout the year?
Yeah, like what he said. Obviously, the first thing is like to win championships, but we got to take the season seriously first because everything like depends on seeding and stuff like that. And then not just looking forward to states. Like first we got to win Chestermont, then districts. We came up short of districts and states last year, so taking it game by game and just coming
Right.
out champions at the end of it.
Yeah. And what about some personal goals for you, Colton? I know we talked a little bit about the areas that you want to grow in and become better at, but what would you highlight as some personal goals here as you go throughout this season?
I want to have a good chance of winning Gatorade Player of the Year for Pennsylvania, and then scoring my 1,000 points would be pretty cool as a sophomore.
Yeah. What are you at right now? I'm not sure.
I'm not
Or
sure.
do you have an
I
estimation?
added up something like last night, but I don't know.
Okay.
I'm kind of like I don't really
I
know
think
what
it's
I'm
Yeah.
at.
like six. I think it might be like 650 area.
Okay. That's why I was wondering because John might have more of a sense. Usually as a player you can
Yeah,
lose track,
it's
but
like around 650, somewhere around
okay.
there.
Well, definitely shoot me a text if he's approaching 1,000. That would be awesome. I mean, what an accomplishment as a sophomore as well. Um, last direction I want to go and an area I want to talk about, Colton, is just, you've been playing this game for so long, and you have such a talent and such work that you put in to create that talent. What is it that you ultimately want out of the game of basketball? What are some of the longer term goals that you have for yourself in your basketball career?
Yeah, I just like love the game. Like if I didn't love the game, I wouldn't want to be like wasting my time with this just to go like make money one day. But yeah, definitely I want to play at the highest level. It's always been a dream since I was a kid, so just working hard to get there every day.
Love it. And John, seeing that from a player, seeing those long-term goals, those long-term opportunities that he wants to create, just what would you say to, well, I'm sure you've had the conversations, but what would you say to Colton in terms of what it's going to take to accomplish the goals that he has?
Well, I mean, hard work, to get there, to be one of literally a million. You got to put the work in, right? But our goal for us as coaches, as people in the community, is to make sure that he achieves his goal, and not only him, but all of our kids in our community and on our team, that they achieve their goals. Or if his goal is to go to the NBA, then we want to make sure that he achieves that. If his brother's goal is to go a different route, we want to make sure that he achieves that. So he knows the work that he has to put in. We talk a little bit about what he has to do next. I mean, it's always about what he has to do next, not what he's done in the past. But putting the work in so you can be literally one in a million. That's second to none.
Hiller is the highest ranked recruit from Pennsylvania since Justin Edwards was ranked number 3 in 2023, and he currently plays for the 76ers. The NBA is also the goal for Hiller, so he will try to be the next Pennsylvania native to play in the association. Reporting in studio for Courtside Chronicles, I'm Caleb Nixon.